Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have an exciting topic to discuss that's been revolutionizing the world of software development and deployment. We'll be discussing about Docker. I'll be providing a basic introduction to Docker. I'll explain what it is, why it's essential, and how it can simplify the process of deploying applications. But before we start, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a video. So before answering the fundamental question, what is Docker? Let's first grasp the concept of containerization. Think of it as a way to package everything an application needs. This includes codes, libraries, and dependencies into a single lightweight unit called a container. It's like shipping a perfectly organized and self-sufficient package. So what exactly is Docker? Docker can be considered as an open source platform that automates the deployment process of applications inside a lightweight, portable, and self-sufficient containers. So these containers package everything needed to run an application, including the code, the runtime, system tools, and even the libraries. So think of Docker containers as isolated environments that ensure your application runs consistently regardless of where it is being deployed. Now you might be wondering, why should I use Docker? Well, Docker offers several compelling advantages because traditionally, when developers build applications, they had to account for differences in server configurations, dependencies, and libraries. This made it challenging to ensure that the application would run consistently across various environments. But with Docker containers, developers can package their applications and all their dependencies into a single unit. This ensures that the application runs in the same way on a developer's laptop, a test server, or even a production server. Now let's discuss about the advantages of Docker. So the first advantage would be portability. Docker containers are consistent across different environments, and this makes it easy to move applications between development, testing, and production environments without worrying about compatibility issues. The second advantage is isolation. So containers provide a high degree of isolation, preventing conflicts between applications and their dependencies. So this isolation enhances security and reliability. The third advantage is efficiency. So Docker containers are, as I said before, they're lightweight and they share the host OS kernel, making them extremely resource efficient. You can run multiple containers on a single machine without sacrificing performance. Now let's discuss about the fourth advantage, that is scalability. So Docker makes it simple to scale your application horizontally by adding or removing containers as needed, making it ideal for microservices architectures. And the final advantage is version control. So Docker allows you to version your containers, ensuring that you can always roll back to a previous version if needed. Now let's talk about Docker components. So Docker has several essential components. In this video, we'll be talking about the Docker engine, the Docker image, Docker container, and the Docker hub. So the Docker engine is the core of Docker. This is responsible for building, running, and managing containers. It includes the Docker daemon and the Docker client. Second, we have the Docker image. So an image is a lightweight, standalone, and executable package that contains the application code, runtime, and dependencies. And then we have the container. So a container is a runnable instance of an image. It encapsulates the application and its environment. And the Docker hub is a cloud-based registry where you can find and share Docker images with the community, and it's a valuable resource for finding pre-built images as well. So how does Docker work? Docker uses a client-server architecture. So the Docker client communicates with the Docker daemon, which manages the containers. And containers are built from Docker images, which are essentially snapshots of a file system with all the necessary components. You can create your custom images or use pre-built ones from the dockerhub, which is a repository for Docker images. So to run a container, you simply specify an image and a Docker would create an instance of that image as a container. Each container runs in isolation, but they can communicate with each other, and the host system if needed. And when you want to create a container, you start with the Docker file. So this file contains instructions for building your image. It specifies the base image, adds your application code, and sets up necessary configurations. Once you have your Docker file, you build an image from it using the Docker CLI, and this image will contain all the components needed for your application to run. And finally, you can deploy this image on any environment that supports Docker, whether it's your local machine, a cloud server, or a colleague's computer. The container will run consistently everywhere. Now let's sum it up. So Docker offers scalability, portability, and consistency. It reduces conflicts and simplifies deployment process. Plus, it saves resources and speeds up development. Those are some of the compelling reasons to start using Docker. And there you have it, an introduction to Docker and its fundamental concepts. So Docker is a powerful tool that simplifies application deployment. It enhances portability, and it has a lot more advantages. If you understood what Docker is, and if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit that like button as well.